the segment was good, but they need a payoff. Like, she doesn't need a match with them. I think that's probably in the books, but like I said, like, I don't know if the UFC will let her do that. I think that would probably be the biggest dispute. I think she'd want to do that because her and Rock.
Well, Ronda Rousey tweeted, I don't know if you saw this, she said, it's just getting started. We've just started. So, I mean, that was my biggest, that's what got me excited. I mean, if you were to put these guys in a ring, as prestigious as SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Rumble, as prestigious as they all are, that would have to take place at WrestleMania, no matter what. Ronda Rousey going against Stephanie McMahon, or even a tag team match, Rock and Ronda versus Triple H and Steph, that would have to happen on WrestleMania. That would draw so many numbers. The buy rates would be ridiculous. The subscriptions for the WWE Network through the roof. That has to happen at WrestleMania 32.
But do you think the UFC maybe not let her wrestle at WrestleMania?
I mean, that could definitely.
I think that would be the biggest.
That could definitely be a factor.
The biggest factor of her not fighting. Also, I wouldn't want to see her versus Stephanie because, like, logically, she would freaking destroy it.
It has to be.
So it has to be a tag team. It has to be like Rock and Rousey versus Triple H and Steph. I think that's a definite. I don't think them in a ring.
And I mean, I'm sure the UFC wouldn't mind. Like you said, let's say it's a tag team match at WrestleMania 32. A tag team match is not a 30-minute 5-star brawl play. If you're giving her, just the hot tag at WrestleMania 32, have her knock out Triple H and pin Triple H. I mean, that would go. There's not a lot of ways you can get hurt if you just get the hot tag and get the pin.
It's got to be more of an angle,
Also, like I think that, like you said, I think that would be perfect. Like, don't want to get hurt, just comes in, just does like a judo toss, pins Stephanie McMahon. But also, like, think of like that's competition for UFC.
Yeah.
So would you want your biggest star on their biggest show getting all this mainstream attention over your product? They're going to be thinking.
Maybe this is the blossoming of a new relationship between the UFC and Vince McMahon. I don't know.
Dana White and him do not get along at all.
They are very much alike, and here's what I'm thinking. Because Brock, for the first time since he came back 3 years ago, almost exactly a year ago or 3 years ago from tomorrow. I remember the day. It was a magical moment. Or 3 years ago from Thursday.
April 2nd.
There you go, April 2nd, a magical Raw moment, one of my favorite returns of all time. But here's the thing, though. Vince and Dana are very much similar in the sense that when Brock first came back, he wanted to do a schedule where he could fight for UFC and do WWE at the same time. Obviously, an obvious no-go considering how hurt you can get in either profession. So they didn't want to do that. He probably wanted to do that this time. No chance of that happening, so he re-signed with WWE. So if Vince wouldn't allow that to happen, I don't think it's going to happen with Dana on the other end. So unless if it's more of an angle than a match, I could see it happening. But I don't know. I don't know why Dana would allow this and then say... And then have Ronda kind of play it up and say have Ronda say that there's more to it.
Yeah, but how do you know he said that? How do you know he let her say that? She could just say it herself.
That's exactly
she's a celebrity. She knows better. That if she wasn't allowed to fight in the WWE, to perform in the WWE, there's no way she would tweet that. There's no
Rock
way
too.
Tease that.
Rock too. Rousey to come. There was no way that they would have teased it more.
That could be to the new movie coming out. That could be something like that. I don't know. I just think, like you said, Dana White. I feel like he has resentment because I think he really wanted Lesnar to come back because he's done the best buys ever for the UFC.
Yeah.
So I think he is pissed because WWE gave him the deal. They got him twice over the UFC. So I think he might have resentment for the WWE, and then like seeing how Ronda gave them so much mainstream attention, that maybe he's like, you know what? I'm not letting you wrestle.
It's a one-sided deal for WWE.
Anything's possible. I think I would want to see it happen, but I think like that would be the biggest split between the two.
How see in any manner, like you said. So it's got to be like, remember like with TNA a couple years ago, and they let Ric Flair go to the Hall of Fame at 28, and they let Christian go on like SummerSlam a couple months later. Unprecedented, never done before, never done again.
Slammiversary.
What did I say?
SummerSlam.
Yeah, Slammiversary, sorry. So maybe we see something like that where they give us Ronda for one night and then we give them, I don't know what you could, it's UFC, so you can't do like an angle or something. So I don't know what you would do, but I feel like there has to be some sort of trade-off. You can't just give us Ronda and nothing in return.
Why can't we buy out a contract for a night?
I don't know, because I feel like UFC doesn't benefit, because people would. I mean, I know it's free exposure, and you know what? In a way, maybe too, because they didn't say this great fighter Ronda Rousey. They very much came out and said UFC bantamweight heavyweight champion Ronda Rousey. They just flat out said it. Like they said it a couple times. They put it on the nameplate. Brock's been doing this since he came back in 2012, but they always say former UFC champion. Before that, they never mentioned the UFC. So I don't know if it's the dawning of a new relationship, but maybe that was the trade-off there.
The thing is also, like, the women, because, like, when she fights, usually, like, even though she's a big star, like, they don't get the best buy rates, because who wants to pay for Ronda Rousey to kick some girl's ass and stream it online? Like, I just think, like I said, I think it's me, the relationship between Dana and Vince that would make this not happen.
It's